And welcome to Beyond the Counter or Behind the Counter, because I just forgot what Ryan reminded me what it was.
Again,
but
every
we
time.
will go with Beyond the Counter because it sounds better. Today we have Connor ProCoach. Connor, introduce yourself to the camera.
Connor Rendchen. Most of you will know me around here as ProCoach.
Mr. ProCoach.
One half of Mr. ProCoach, I guess.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, Lewis is the other person in the dynamic. Pro bodybuilder, going into my first competitive season this year. And that's kind of how a lot of the Apollo members will know me pretty much. But hopefully by the end of this podcast there'll be a little bit more to.
I want to know more.
A little bit more, yeah.
That's actually a nice place to start, to be
fair, because you and Lewis,
Yes.
as far as I'm aware, do kind of come as a team.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been together?
So I reached out to Lewis to start training probably about 3 months before the first lockdown.
Ooh.
So 2019, towards the back end of 2018.
5.5 years.
Fair.
And we have consistently been training since then.
Yeah, every day.
Well, yeah.
Even
pretty
on
much.
rest days, you guys train together.
Even on rest days.
You guys train
Well,
together.
we rest together.
Yeah, you rest. exactly it. But I would always have thought that you guys, especially because you're dynamic,
Yeah.
you can't mention one without the other.
No.
Which is good and bad, because it's very much like Ryan and Amma.
Yes.
Like, it's Connor and Lewis.
It is.
All the time. Lewis
Yeah.
and Connor and Lewis.
Yeah.
Like you said, Mr. ProCoach.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, you guys have only known each other been training together for 5-6 years.
That's how long we've known each other.
And that's how long you've known each other.
That is literally how long
not
we've
know that.
known each other for.
So that's an identical situation to me and Ryan.
Yeah.
Literally.
8?
Yeah.
8
But met each other, fell in love, and then just trained ever since, which is basically kind of it. Pure bromance.
That's mad.
For sure.
Which is brilliant. You obviously didn't meet here, you met at Future. We
did.
can mention any other gym. Code word
why
is
not?
pineapple if we go down the wrong road, right? Met at Future,
Yeah.
trained together at Future.
Yeah, so we started training together at Future for a couple of months.
Where were
And
you
then-
before Future? Sorry.
Sorry?
Where were you before Future? Because Lewis has always been Future. Where were you
Where
before
was I
that?
training before Future? I would have been training at JD Gyms in Coventry.
Okay.
That was where I was working at the time as
Yeah.
a personal trainer.
I never had you down as a JD guy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
I started from the ground. I started from I've worked from the ground up. I
Right.
started Pure Gym
Wow,
10 years ago, 11 years ago.
that's a shocker.
As a personal trainer on the gym floor, and we'll get onto that a little bit.
Didn't know
I
that.
think having them years on the gym floor, to anybody who wants to be an online coach or a successful PT, having them years on the gym floor really add value to now me as a coach.
Yeah.
Talking to people in social situations. I'm very comfortable in any social situation. I'm introverted, but at the same time, I can hold myself in social situations, and I put that a lot down to personal training.
Yeah.
Being able to talk to different
Foundation.
characters, foundations.
Massive.
I'm kind of the guy that knows a little bit about a lot,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the way I'm seeing myself.
That's a good thing though, because then you can get involved in every conversation. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that we're a specialist in any conversation, but typically if there's a conversation to be had, if you can take part in
You
it,
can hold yourself.
that's
of
a
course.
good character trait in general.
I do pride myself in that.
Yeah, that's good. That's solid.
I mean, there are going to be certain topics that go way over my head, like
Fact.
fucking
Like bodybuilding.
space, or
Like bodybuilding.
bodybuilding,
Yeah.
coaching,
Yeah.
dieting.
That's where we come into it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So why Lewis then?
I think I looked at Lewis. And Lewis was at the time probably someone that I wanted to train like.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that simple, really.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him.
Fair.
Nice.
That's-
But he wasn't big on social back then, surely.
No, I mean, we saw each other in the gym.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
saw
yeah.
each other in the gym. We'd said hello to each other. I thought we are similar ages.
Yeah.
So I reached out, and
You older than Lewis?
yes, I'm
Okay.
3 years older than Lewis.
Okay.
Or 4, one of the two.
Yeah.
And then we went through lockdown together in terms of training at his house.
Yeah. I was going to say
which
that.
was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Actually.
So basically, you played your cards so well,
Yeah.
getting in with Lewis just before COVID.
Pick well.
But honestly,
Pick well,
I was
yeah.
thinking this.
Yeah.
He's smart.
I picked him.
He's
I probably-
so smart. Oh, nice. Okay.
Which was a lot of fun. And then, we've sort of grew together,
Yeah,
metaphorically as well as
Nah,
physically.
massively. Outside looking in, again, this is gonna sound stupid because everyone knows we got a bromance, so it's all good. But coming from another bromance, looking at another bromance, it's actually really nice because how you guys train together, and you actually sacrifice a lot for each other on a daily. So, albeit if you're training the same body part or you're training a different body part, you know, you guys still put the same effort into. You put the same effort in your set as you do on spotting him.
I think it's
and
that's-
vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, that's really important if you do want to be a good training partner, or if you do want to be a good friend for that matter.
Fact.
Gotta give them everything.
You have really,
Yeah.
you know, and I pride myself on that in
Yeah.
terms of my relationships, in terms of my friendships around the gym, out of the gym, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Give 110%.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get stung.
Yeah.
Sometimes the
A
person
lot
don't
of the time you get
reciprocate.
stopped.
Yeah.
A lot.
You know, and that's actually something that I've probably struggled with through my life. Is I tend to give a lot to the people around me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it hurts when it's not reciprocated.
Of course.
But yeah, that's kind of the type of person I am. So he will always get 100% from me.
Yeah.
You know, whether that be in the gym or out the gym.
Yeah.
And that's why the dynamic works as
So-
well as what it does. And, you know, that's why we've been able to achieve so far
Massive.
the small amount of success that we have.
You can see, yeah, massive. You can see your growth trajectory is just going up and up.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think most people around you will say the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
I mean,
And-
I've always had a vision when I was, you know, when I was younger and I started my journey in fitness. I went to college to be a personal trainer. You know, went down that route. I had a vision of where I wanted to be, and not anybody else could really see that around me. You know, they wanted the safe job, the 9 till 5.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little bit different to my other family members in that sense. But I can hand on my heart say I am exactly where I need to be right now.
Oh, lovely.
That's wicked.
And that's just achieved through hard work. I don't excel in anything, but what I probably do excel at is my mindset
Yeah.
and my belief and my hard work. And that's
Yeah.
what you're going to get from me.
You are very dedicated.
You have to be.
Yeah, you're very, very dedicated.
Because there are lots of people out there that are dedicated as well,
100%.
both as coaches and as
Yeah, of course.
bodybuilders, which are my two primary focuses right now in life.
Yeah. We've obviously spoken about this sort of stuff before, just in and around the gym, and that's one thing I think we definitely. I remember like one conversation like me, yourself, and Ryan had, and we were just talking about the finer detail, like the 1% lifestyle, what it takes to go from being a basic gym goer like me and Ryan to
Yep.
being a bodybuilder,
Yep.
to then becoming an IFBB pro,
Yep.
which I think you're probably one of the first locally to do that, right?
I think so, yeah.
No, you would have been one of the first.
Well, I am, yeah.
It's got to be you or Jermaine for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's right.
then now, obviously, you guys are progressing to a different level, which obviously we'll touch on other things in a minute. But one of the questions which you got here that everybody wanted to know is: it's your first IFBB Pro season, first show coming up in 4 weeks.
We are 6 weeks out.
Six weeks. 6 weeks out. Obviously, you're deep into your prep. You know
Yeah.
it's going to get harder.
Yeah.
What's the expectation?
So the expectations for this season.
Actually,
is-
let me answer that one for you first. Knowing you, you're not the guy to go in to come second.
No.
But knowing you know better than I do the competition.
Yep.
So that's actually a nice question for me to ask you as well. Knowing your mindset.
Yep.
Are you going in to come first?
So I train, I eat, I sleep, I hydrate, I do cardio to win.
Yeah.
Everything is done to win. It's to be my best. However, you do have to be realistic with your goals.
Yeah.
You do have to be realistic with the situation. I'm going to be competing against professionals that have been professionals for 5 years, 10 years. So everything I do, how I hold myself as a pro athlete, is to win. However, the goal this year is to simply be the best bodybuilder that I've ever been,
Okay.
and tick that box,
Yeah.
and make sure that's firmly ticked.
Yeah.
Next year will be slightly different.
Like, welcome to I'm here.
Correct.
I'm here now.
So-
you know me now.
This year is more about sort of dipping your toe in the water, making sure that the judges in the corner of their sheet write down Connor Rendchen.
Yeah.
You know, could be a good bodybuilder, whatever, prospect.
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
Next year, then things become a little bit more, I wouldn't say serious, but I want to start winning shows. I want to start earning prize money, serious prize money, and I want to start competing, at the Olympia and the New York Pro, for example, the top tier shows.
Yeah.
So this year, I guess, I feel a lot less pressure this year.
Yeah.
2023 was a hard prep. Physically, because I was dieting for 6 or 7 months, from the start of the year all the way through until August. 8 months.
Yeah.
When I won my pro card. But mentally, the amount of pressure, I wouldn't say external pressure, internal pressure that I put on myself, because it was part of the vision.
Yeah.
The vision was turn pro, start working for ProCoach.
Lovely.
And I did both
Yeah.
within a month of each other. But the amount of pressure that I put on myself to tick them boxes
Yeah.
was massive. And it's the biggest difference from 2023 to now. I don't feel as much internal pressure. I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah. Good.
And it's actually, I think it's eliciting a better result physically for me. I feel better, but I look better as well.
Okay. I personally would have thought, again, outside looking in, you handle your pressure well.
I do handle pressure well, but all three of us in here have internal battles.
And we only
Yeah.
see him in the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. But from seeing you, like, especially when you're dialed in, I probably, to be fair, yourself and one other person in the gym, typically when you're here, you're very intense guys.
Yeah, I mean,
So
You're here for a job.
yes.
You're not here how we're here to piss
I
about.
think that comes up quite a lot, and it's not how I want people to perceive me all the time. I'd love people to understand that this is a job for me.
It is.
This is a serious part of my life. I do want to achieve something within the sport. So, there are other sides of me. There are lots of other sides to me.
The fact you came in with an Aston Villa top says everything.
Other interests.
Yeah.
I do have a sense of humour, believe it or not.
You
the
have
whole
to have a
point
lot
of
of
the
heartache.
podcast.
You have to have a lot of heartache to be an Aston Villa fan.
I've had to recently.
Yeah, you guys are doing well.
We are doing well now,
Doing well.
but I've been through the shit with them.
Yeah.
We were relegated
Really?
6 years ago.
It's really his fault. It's his fault.
It's all my fault. I'm sorry about that, yeah.
No, yeah. No, you
That's
come
when
across
you got your P.
That's when I was out, mate. That's when I gone.
you come across as an intense guy, but that's the thing, you're not.
No.
Like, so every time
No.
we have a conversation,
Yeah.
it's always a solid conversation.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, when you're training, you're in the zone.
Well, this is my.
You're here not just to tick a box and say, okay, cool, I've come in and I've done Paul and let me go
Yeah.
show my coach.
Yeah.
Oh, I did my set. You're looking at the details of the set.
Ticking a box doesn't win the New York Pro for me. Ticking a
simple.
box doesn't qualify for the Olympia, and they're my goals. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I can't be pissing around and joking.
Everyone's
around
got a time frame as well, haven't they?
24/7.
Of course.
Exactly.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, so yeah, you're there.
I'm now in a position where
Your knees hurt in the morning.
everywhere hurts in the morning.
Buzzing. Well, that's just us.
Nah.
I've
Yeah,
probably
we're
got.
fucked.
Well, I guess I've got 8 years really at my prime.
Yeah.
That's not a long time to live my dream.
Yeah, of course.
So I've got to be serious in some respects.
Yeah.
But that comes up quite a lot. The deeper you get into prep, the more finite your energy becomes.
Yeah.
So I do become a little bit more intense, a little bit more serious when I'm in the gym, because I've not got bags of energy to be thrown around to everyone, jumping around like a clown.
People won't understand that, though.
They
But
won't.
no, people don't understand that. But it's worth explaining.
Yeah, and so we've never really dieted to that extreme.
Yeah.
But we've seen you guys do it, and you kind of can see every day you come in, the energy just getting zapped and zapped
Yes.
away. So we kind of then essentially say, "Oh, cool. Do you know what? Connor's a high five today. He's a firms, and that's it."
But that's fine, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of course.
But you understand it and you respect it. It's
high
different.
five.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Like, yeah, and then there might be a day where you've had a bit of food, a bit more food, and you come in and you're like, "Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's
Got to
now
mess
yeah,
around a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. We
Yeah.
can faff around a bit.
Yeah.
So, does that annoy you though? Because that there looks like it annoys you. It's like as if people are thinking that you're intense or not. You're good with people coming up to you.
I mean, it don't annoy me.
Yeah.
I'm just keen to make sure that people understand that that's why.
Yeah, I think
That's
everyone
why.
knows that.
This is my university project. This is my desk. This is
Yeah.
this is where I work.
Yeah, yeah.
The
It's a good office.
This
You've
is
got a
not-
good office.
Great
Got a great
office.
office.
Yeah.
This is not
Best
social
office in
time
the-
for me anymore.
Best
this
office
is
in the
my
UK
social
I
apparently.
was going to say that.
Best office in the UK. As
Obviously,
per 2023, 2024 results.
that's why we're here. That's
But
why
yeah.
we're here.
So why did you start training?
I think my story is very similar to the majority of people. I wasn't intrinsically interested in bodybuilding until I got injured. So I was a footballer. I played at a decent level. I sustained a knee injury.
Yeah.
One of the things that the physio said to do is go and start lifting weights. The rest's history. I never played football again.
Completely.
How old was that?
That would have been around 19
Wow.
years old. I'd just broken into Atherstone Town's first team. So it was an okay standard. I probably would have gone on to get paid.
Atherstone semi-pro.
Simple.
They were semi-pro at the time, yes. So they were being paid. I'd just broken into the first team. I'd had a really good pre-season. I was as fit as a fiddle. And then, pre-season friendly, injured, never played again.
Yeah.
Never played again to that standard.
Why? Because of the injury or choices?
I think because of the choices I made, I fell in
Okay.
love with training.
So you lost the love for football at all?
I lost the love for playing football, or
Right.
maybe I realised I'm better at bodybuilding than I was at football.
It's addictive, isn't it? Bodybuilding, I think, or training in general is addictive.
Yeah,
Of course it
But I
is.
think it's the best addiction you get. It's like a dopamine hit of different levels. If you have a good session, like you have a good day.
Yeah, you have a wicked
If you have a bad session,
Terrible.
like, I can't stop thinking about it.
You're a nightmare.
Like, I didn't wake up today
it
for my training
becomes
session this morning.
it becomes a part of you.
Oh my god,
Yeah, of course
It
it is.
latches onto you, and it's impossible to get off.
you can't get it off.
No,
Because then, if you're a driven person and you see improvements to your body and your mind, you want that hit every day,
you want more,
every day.
more and more and more.
And this morning I didn't wake up, so I haven't got my hit. So, all to be fair, I'm talking to you about training now. Obviously, and in my head I'm thinking,
That's fizzing around.
I'm gonna make sure I get my back session out.
Yeah.
And that's not because I want to get big. I just want to feel I just want the blood
good.
to flow. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you need it.
Otherwise, I don't feel sharp in the day. Like it's not good. So that's nice. That's nicest to hear.
I think one thing it is worth noting is me and Lewis talk about this all the time. The positions that we're in now,
Yeah.
training really doesn't do that for us anymore.
It doesn't.
No,
Don't give you the hit.
we have to find, because it's a job.
Yeah.
As much as I love it, and I'm so blessed to do what I do.
And you're good at it.
And I'm getting better at it. Yes.
Now you're good at it.
It doesn't give me that hit anymore. I have to go and find other things, so other interests, outside of work and bodybuilding to give me that hit, because we've done it for so long. Me and Lou look at it like it's work. It's literally work.
Yeah.
It's gonna both benefit me as a bodybuilder, but also as a coach.
Yeah.
So it's doubly serious.
What else do you look for then?
Well,
Bowling.
other interests are really important.
Bowling's
Are you good
good.
at bowling?
Which sort of bowling?
10 pin.
I've done both.
Are you good at bowling?
Not really.
Oh,
No, but I will give a go at
We're
anything.
thinking about getting an Apollo team.
We're putting a team together.
We're
Bowling?
We're going to join a league.
and we're gonna challenge every gym.
10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
Proper bowling.
Proper man sport.
Gonna have a uniform and stuff.
Oh wow! What about the shoes?
Yeah.
Oof, we haven't talked about
We haven't-
shoes.
Shoes are a good shout.
We're talking at the moment. We're looking into gloves, balls, and shoe and tops.
They don't make you wear them shoes anymore.
They don't. They don't. We know.
In
I'm so disappointed
in the
with that.
standard bowling centres, there won't. But in leagues, which we're
Yeah.
going to go into, it's part of
You
the
know the
kit.
really smelly ones that
Be-
they used to spray.
Yeah, with the Velcro. Well, not Velcro.
We're genuinely because in our head we're like, so we're looking for different things as well, and we're like, okay, how do we compete with other gyms, but on a friendly level?
It's not gonna be friendly.
It won't be friendly because he's involved, but how do we just beat you here as well?
Yeah.
So that's what we just thought. We've got to be fair because there's people at different ages, so let's start bowling. So we started bowling May.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you did. You went a couple of weekends ago, didn't you?
We've been a
The
few
pain in our hips.
times. Oh my god, you don't understand.
Connor,
Is it bad?
My techers is proper low, so I have to
You're-
do a pretty much a lunge.
Ryan's like the bullet train like in Japan, it just glides along. But he's just so smooth. He's got a little two-step, and
Yeah.
then it's just smooth all
Release.
the way.
Little salsa, and
I'm
then-
go big or go home.
Yeah.
Literally, I just ball in hand,
Nah, you're lazy.
use the bicep.
It's either a
bang.
strike or you miss it completely.
No, I'm good at cleaning up.
He's good now.
So I can,
Yeah.
I'm like a 9 and a 1, and then sometimes I might get a strike. This guy over here,
It's nice. It's nice to look at. It doesn't always do what it's meant to.
no, it's pretty. It's a pretty shot.
I'm disappointed that you're not as good as I thought you'd be at bowling.
Connor's going to be good at bowling.
Do you think he's now playing it?
I think Connor's bicep is going to ruin him a little bit, but once he stops and realizes that bodybuilding ain't the way forward,
It's not as easy as you think.
I
though.
just realised that's common sense is to get him and Lewis on the team, because these guys are pulling like 240, 260 off the floor for fun. Can you imagine the pace that they're launching that ball down?
I want to see it.
Oh, I just thought we were
We'll
going to
arrange it.
Let's get involved.
Okay,
Let's get involved.
or let's
I'm up for
challenge
anything
Pro
like
Coach
that.
first. Apollo
Okay.
versus Team Pro Coach.
Oh, wow.
Good
So there's
idea.
five in the team.
If you fancy losing,
So,
everybody
Apollo-
has to lose,
Oh.
don't they? You
Oh.
obviously learn more from your losses than you do from
Not
your
sure,
victories, don't
you
you?
might be an IFBB pro bodybuilder, but we are BTB official.
Yeah. Whoa.
Nah.
I want to do that.
Yeah, that'd actually be good jokes.
5 and 5.
That actually would be good jokes. Who have you got to say? It'd be yourself, Lewis, Landon, and then you can pick 2 wildcard pro coaches.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, we'll do honestly do that. Don't get upset though. We're good.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna lose.
We're good. What would be your top score in bowling? What's the best score you've ever
Oh,
got?
mate, I've
Oh,
got
this
no
is-
idea.
Because just saying you're sitting like next to
This is all fresh for you.
Mr. 191.
Yeah, it's high.
191.
I can tell by his face he's shocked.
Out of how many? What's the top score if you get
300.
300.
300 is the perfect game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's strikes really
Typically people get 100 and think they're great,
Right.
but Mr. 191 over
Well,
there.
we did. As soon as we got our first under, we were like buzzing.
Yeah.
But now we've
The
progressed.
levels gone up, Connor.
Yeah.
Gone up. And imagine if we had shoes.
I just want a glove.
The grip would be
We
there.
need some sort of neutral ground as well. It can't be in Coventry.
We can go anywhere
You
you
know,
want.
I don't want to be.
We don't
can-
mind travelling.
we can
I
travel.
don't want to be playing at your home sort of
We can-
lanes.
we can
you know,
travel.
You sound like you're fearful.
No, I mean it's just the playing field needs
When
to
you're
be.
confident in your ability,
even.
you can go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Right,
Okay.
bowling's on. We'll arrange it.
So sorry, what were we saying before?
Tangent.
But yeah,
There you go.
Expectations of the show.
Yes.
So you're definitely not going. Well, that's not. I don't want to be rude to say it. I know you. You're going to go to win.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I say, the mindset is to win.
Yeah.
But the expectations
Is
that's
to go
different.
there.
That's
stamp.
different.
Yeah. Go there. Stamp your
Expectations
authority.
and mindset is completely different.
Go there. Stamp your authority.
Correct.
And then
Have fun as well.
yes.
So Portugal will be the first show
Yeah.
in which the team's going to be there. So ProCoach the team.
Wicked.
Second show is going to be in the Netherlands, so Amsterdam, where my family is actually going to be travelling out to watch me.
Even better.
You know, people that have never watched me compete at all.
Even better.
So that's very, very special for me.
Yeah.
Family, super, super important. You know, one of my main drivers in life really is my family
course.
and making them proud.
Nice. Does that add to the stress though of that show?
No.
Makes
no,
it better.
No, makes me want to work harder.
Yeah, cool.
Something special is going to happen for the hair on that one.
Oh, what are you going
So
to do?
this is actually Connor's first show
Mm.
from through Apollo. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I can't do red or anything like that.
No, but so from your Instagram,
Red trunks.
if no,
I love red.
we
Red
can-
trunks.
But you always do something with your hair, don't you?
Well, I've been trying for the last 2 years.
What we're gonna
What
go?
are we trying? What are we looking
Well,
for?
I had a skinhead, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had a complete skinhead, so I've been growing it out
And
for
you
the
have
last 18 months.
yeah blonde hair. On
Yeah, I
one
mean
show.
that's done. That's done.
Did you do that just for the show, though?
Well, no, that was a bit of a midlife crisis.
Oh, okay.
a highlight thing?
Yeah.
Highlights.
Yeah.
I used to have
His
highlights.
whole hair
Fucking
was
hell,
blonde.
it sort of resembled
it's bleach.
this ball.
His whole hair was blonde.
Bleach,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's not happening.
So where do you want to take it then? So obviously the bodybuilding side of it, everyone would automatically know without you even saying. Olympia's the dream. Obviously you've already touched on it. You want to
sure.
go to the New York
For
show
sure.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do believe that I can spend, years circulating in that top 10. I
Yeah.
do genuinely believe that, and that's tangible in terms of fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
I've looked at my physique. Well, we've looked at my physique. I'm this weight. I'm going to be this weight on stage probably this year. If I can put another 20 pounds of muscle on,
Yeah.
which is a huge amount of muscle, I do believe I could be not the best
Yeah.
because there are some absolute freaks.
Yeah.
But I do believe I can be considered
One of the best.
one of the best.
Do you think
For-
genetics
for-
plays a big part?
Yes, it does. Of course, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. genetics play a huge part.
What do you think genetically you've got advantages or disadvantages?
Genetically, if I can get them 20 pounds on, if I can hit my weight cap as a 212 bodybuilder, genetically yes, because my shape, my proportions and my symmetry are very pleasing to look at.
Lovely.
For me, the biggest challenge is putting them 20 pounds of muscle on.
Okay.
You know, not necessarily from the training side of things, but genetically. Does my physique, does my structure want to hold another 20 pounds of muscle? Exactly. Does it want to carry it? I have to eat 5,500, 6,000 calories, similar to Lou, in the off season, and that, mate, is hard.
Yeah.
You know, there's a phrase that we use. If you think a prep is hard,
off season,
put away 5,500, 6,000 calories a day. That makes you feel terrible.
And the rest.
Terrible.
Yeah, you don't eat.
You eat bad stuff.
Mr. 1 meal a day here.
The thing is, it has a knock-on effect with your food as well. Sorry, with your sleep, because you start eating that last meal a little bit later. Because you're so full, it goes from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. to midnight to 1 a.m. You're not gonna miss 1,000 calories in food. So you end up sleeping less and less and less and less, and it's just a nightmare.
It is a very intense sport. So
horrendously intense.
Before, just being a cocky prick, I would always say bodybuilding was not a sport. The more involved I've got in the gym,
we didn't know about it though, did we?
Not really. Like, the more I got involved in the gym, and then the more then we started to speak to people, see people every day, like yourselves, like Jermaine, stuff like that, like Sam Lewis, and you would genuinely see the sacrifice you make. I completely flipped on it. I actually think it's probably the most intense, because you can't miss a beat.
No. And not if you want to operate at them top levels. No.
Yeah. But more importantly, you can't miss a day.
No.
You have to do everything.
Well, every day counts. You know, you can't.
All part of the plan.
Exactly. Everything from, you know, Monday to the following Monday across a 7-day period. You're either training or resting.
Or you're dieting.
Or you're eating.
The diet.
You're eating towards a goal, whether that be to drop body fat or you know, put muscle on.
Even something as stupid as supplements. You know, your supplements have to be on point.
Of course it does.
Your water intake has, like, Aaron put a picture up the other day. I actually took the piss out of him. I was like, why the heck are you measuring your water?
Well, of course he is.
But that's the thing.
For show day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. His coach needs to know how much water he's drinking to expel a certain amount.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. From the outside, it's like, are you
mental?
Are you crazy?
Taking it too far now.
Yeah, like, you know,
the details.
Details. The detail that goes into it from start all the way to show day is crazy. And then the rebound after, where no one gives a shit, because you've gone on stage, you got your medal, and then, all right, you're just like, you know, double tapping your messages, and everyone's on the hype wagon at that point, like, oh, well done, well done, well done. But you still haven't finished. You know, you're carrying on, because then you've got to rebound your body in a different way. It's very, very intense.
It is.
It's very, very intense.
Bodybuilding's in a unique position that it can just be a lifestyle if you wish, but the competitive side of bodybuilding is a sport.
Massive.
You don't have to be involved in competing to be a bodybuilder, and it's not a case of these people look at these people like, oh, you can't compete. You know, we're all sort of working towards the same goal. And I would never say to somebody, you have to compete to be a bodybuilder. No, you don't have to. Go and live the lifestyle. It's great. You know, if that's what keeps you on the straight and narrow, keeps you out the boozers, keeps you stops you smoking, you know, all them sorts of bad habits that we can get into. If this keeps you, you know, moving forward in life, crack on.
Would you say you got bad habits though? You're very disciplined guy.
I have had bad habits in the past. Yes, we all have vices. I'm not going to go into too much of them. But yeah, I mean, I've had bad habits, and I've worked on them vices with therapists.
How was you in school? Was you?
I was about 5 foot in school. Cocky.
I wasn't cocky. I was 5 foot. I wasn't cocky.
I was small. I was good at football at school. So I was in that kind of what you would class as popular group.
But were you disciplined in school?
No.
Dedicated?
No, I wasn't. I was kind of your average student, C's and B's.
Wow.
I didn't excel at anything. Until I started bodybuilding.
It's mad, isn't it?
And coaching.
Yeah, I would have had you down as not like the most amazing student, but I would have had you down as regimented.
I can honestly say, you know, the nature over nurture.
Yeah.
For sure, mine was nurture. It was the people around me that made me or helped me level up.
Brilliant.
I'm not, I'm not academically gifted
Yeah.
in any respects
Yeah.
at all. But as I said to you, I looked around and I thought, I want a piece of that.
Yeah.
So what are my strengths? And my strengths, my mindset, like I said.
Yeah.
Work hard.
Yeah.
Work hard. Work hard. Get good at doing something, and then just keep perfecting.
It's crazy once you understand that, isn't it? Once you can
Quite
understand.
simple, really.
It's very simple, but once someone can understand that if I just do something every day, I'll get better.
Yep.
Like, even if we look at us taking the piss at bowling now, we could go for the next week, and by the end of the week, we'll be better. And then with your body, obviously, you're just taking it to that one level more. So if you can just train your mind and think, I just got to keep going. Even if I have a shit day, that's cool. I'm just going to turn up tomorrow. And we go again, and we go again. Like, one bad moment of the day shouldn't define the rest of your day. It's just a bad moment, like, or a bad set. But then just keep going. And then now look at you.
One thing I've always said is, within bodybuilding, life happens to us all, right? I've been through some shit in life that, I wouldn't want my worst enemy to go through. But I've always found a way to keep creeping forward.
Yeah.
You go through periods of your life where you can fucking sprint.
Yeah.
You can sprint forward. This is great. Let's go. But you'll also go through periods of life when shit happens where you can only just crawl forward. And that's one thing that I sort of contribute to being in the position that I'm in now, is I've always just found a way to just keep creeping forward.
That's brilliant. Everyone can do it on a good day.
Absolutely.
Everyone can do it on a good day. But can you do it on a bad day?
Exactly.
Or can you even show up on a day where you don't want to show
and
up?
it's showing up on them bad days.
Yeah, good.
Look, I think the reality is you're going to have a lot of bad days.
Yeah, of course.
That's life, isn't it?
Life.
That's life. Some more than others, granted, whatever. But you're going to have quite a lot of bad days. So if we only show up on the good days, I'm half the person that I am now.
Simple.
So that goes off people that you surround yourself with as well.
Of course it is.
They can pull you through the weeds.
Do you think that the coaching side of it puts a bit of pressure onto you? Because then if you don't do it, how can you then say to your client, you got to do it?
Not so much, no, because the bodybuilding, I'm an athlete. The athlete came before the coach.
Okay.
So I just do what I know.
Yeah.
And I'm in that position, which is great.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
I wasn't a coach first and then became an athlete. If it was that way around, then yes, I think maybe that would put more pressure on me. But at heart, I am an athlete.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing what an athlete does. It's fortunate that I am an IFBB pro, so my clients can look at me like that.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't really
I think
put
that's
any pressure
fortunate.
on
I
me.
think you deserve that. That's
Yeah,
not fortunate. That's you working your ass off for it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that by being an IFBB pro has changed anything for you?
No.
Everything
not at
exactly
all.
the same?
I'm still the same person that I was 15, 16 years ago.
Mindset's definitely the same, but what about in terms of attracting people into your life, attracting sponsorships? I think, again, outside looking in, it looks like a lot of people think, okay, cool, we want to be IFBB pro, but then you speak to them and say, why? It's going to change my life, and then they might go and get it, and then everything's still the same. It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. You have to work even harder.
Yeah.
That's the IFBB Pro card is just somebody unlocking the door for you.
Yeah.
You've still got to open the door and walk through.
Yeah.
The reality is, I've gone from working through the amateur ranks to achieving everything as an amateur, to winning my pro card, British titles, blah 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 blah.
How did that feel?
Amazing.
Because you tried for a few years.
I'm a winner.
Yeah.
Intrinsically, I'm a winner. That's one of the other reasons why I do what I do, because I love winning.
Yeah.
I love winning. It's just who I am. Stepping on stage and being the only person on stage because you've won is an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable feeling. So I love that. Love that. Winning my pro card was horrendously emotional for me.
Yeah.
Partly because 2 or 3 years before that, my mum was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
She was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. And this was in the build-up to me winning the British title. And during that period of time, if anybody's, been touched with cancer in their life, it does pull you very, very close as a family. you know, and in particular, it was me and my mum. You know, I was looking after her a lot. Dad was obviously working. My two brothers had left the house at that point. So it was me and my mum who spent 9 months together during a chemo and a radiotherapy and all that jazz and all that comes with that. So for me, you know, in that moment, it was like, you're going to live to see me live out my dreams. So in that moment, it was a way of giving back. This is what I do this for, to give back, like I say, to make them proud.
Yeah.
You know, and to have my mum see me compete as a professional bodybuilder, I'm done.
Yeah.
Box ticked.
That's nice, to be fair.
That's everything to me.
Yeah, that's lovely.
That's everything to me.
Yeah.
That's it. That supersedes anything.
And
Fuck
imagine-
the money. Fuck the accolades. Fuck what you think
Imagine
of
when
me.
she sees you win.
She will see me win eventually.
I think
She will see me win eventually.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good.
So yeah, you know, yeah, it was a really special moment for me, and I was like, well, Lewis was there. He was in tears as well, to be fair.
Yeah. I ain't surprised.
Over the
course.
and to bring Lewis to tears is much more difficult than it is to me.
I
for,
know.
For me.
Well, I know that boy.
So yeah, you know, it was very emotional. But as I was saying, when you turn pro, you go from being a top amateur to now I'm right at the bottom of the pecking order again,
Yeah,
ready to work back up.
Start again.
And that's really good though. That's really humbling. That keeps you grounded.
Of course.
So
It keeps the dog
you know,
in there, if anything.
of course it does. It makes you want to work harder. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. Just
Yeah.
working hard. That's literally it.
Do you think you're addicted just to the process?
Um,
I would say
the
I'm
process
addicted
of
to the process.
bodybuilding.
Anything. So obviously for you, the process of bodybuilding.
I'm addicted to getting better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the
good
best way to sum me up. If anyone ever says to me about, okay, why do you do something? And it's exactly that. I always just want to prove, for example, gyms. Like it's, I'm not only going to be better than you, but I'm going to show you that we can get better as well.
Yeah.
That's what like now me and Ryan doing this. It's not just it's obviously to get to know the members, but it's to elevate the gym in a different way.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah, and then like when you're saying things like, you know, you want to continually get better, I think that's the underlying factor just to show people that's how kind of success works.
Yeah.
Work rate will outdo talent any day. Like
I
so
agree.
you're not the most genetically gifted,
No.
but you have a gift.
Yeah.
But I think probably in the 37 minutes we've been sitting here, the amount of times you've mentioned work rate is already making me think, oh, cool, the minute we end this, I'm going to go office and I'm going to do some more work. Just because I know, okay, I'm not going to beat you in bodybuilding, but I want you to know before the end of the day that, oh, shit, Amma still works harder than me like that.
Yeah.
Not in a competitive way, just so
No.
like you know, just how
different
my mind works. But that's good to see that someone which is so close to us in the environment that we're in here is then going to start pushing that out to his clients. Because that's what I always say to, especially people that we're close with in the gym. What I've found so far is all the bodybuilders, they have a plan. They all want to step on stage. They're all phenomenal in the gym. Outside of the gym, none of them back it up. There's no like, they can't take the work ethic outside of the gym. They're absolute gods here, but you step out the doors and they just slump.
Well, what's the ratio of being in the gym per day to being out of the gym?
So they're in the gym for a couple of hours.
Correct.
Yeah, and
How
then
many-
they're probably sleeping for 8.
Yeah.
So for the other 10 hours that they're outside, they're doing their work. What are they doing?
Remember, sleep's important to be a pro bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Or to be a good bodybuilder or to build muscle, whatever.
Yeah, but
So
then,
that's important as well.
But then, would you say that you put the same effort into your coaching? Because
Yes.
obviously, fundamentally, that's going to be your end goal, right? So you want to achieve the status of obviously pro, win the pro show, get to the Olympia. God willing, let's say you win an Olympia. Like who knows, right? Like you
knows?
got a dream.
Yeah.
You got a dream.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, and you're 40-something years old, and you hang up your trunks, and you've got your trophies on there, you're going to go into your coaching side of it.
Yeah.
Are you going to be that guy that pushes the coaching, or are you going to be the guy that goes away?
So I think no, I'm not going to be the guy that goes away.
Yeah.
No, I've been given an opportunity through hard work to work for ProCoach, to work with Callum closely, who, Lewis and Callum, for me, are the two variables in my life, people in my life who have helped me achieve what
Callum.
Callum Raystrick. So Callum Raystrick is my coach,
Oh, sorry.
and also the owner of ProCoach.
I was about to say, Cal, let's go. I was like, I'm about to call
Come on, I
him
know where
down.
that one.
About to get him down here.
I know you two are close before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Callum Raystrick,
Yeah.
the owner of ProCoach, gave me the opportunity
Okay.
to work for ProCoach.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's always seen something in me.
Yeah.
He's always believed in me.
Yeah.
And for me, someone to look me in the eye and believe in me is so important.
Massive.
To have people around you that believe in you. Sorry, where was I? What were we talking
The
about?
coaching, taking the coaching forward.
Where I
40
actually see
onwards.
myself is I actually really enjoy public speaking.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an opportunity eventually where that's where I see myself doing seminars, educating people, you know,
Literally
on the science side of things. Say that again.
Literally what I want to do.
Because you can talk to people. Because
Yeah.
you know, you enjoy it. Like, you enjoy inspiring people and educating people. I love coaching.
Yeah.
I love coaching. I'll always coach. But that's what really gets this going.
That's so good to see that you've got a plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's what I was getting at. You know, you can be a god in here, but as soon as you walk out door, you ain't got a plan. You're just gonna go into your 9 to 5, and then you're gonna just get back into
There's no way I'm going to be working.
Yeah,
9 to 5.
no, but that's good though. Like for me to hear that as well. Then like when one thing I hate is reposting someone, not calling anybody out, but reposting them, knowing that they're a badass in the gym, but outside there's no substance.
No layer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you know, okay, you're phenomenal. You look the part.
Yeah.
But I know mentally you're not the
I'm
same.
not just a bodybuilder.
No, well,
Damn right I'm not.
that's
Do you know what I'm
why.
saying?
Like one of the things that obviously I've gotten there is I wanted people to know Connor.
Yeah.
And that's good. Although you don't know what's on here, but in terms of like you getting that out there and people seeing that, okay, shit, he looks like he's a badass. I don't think we even have to touch upon the weights that you lift because you back your shit up.
Yeah.
Like you guys are fucking strong.
Yeah.
You're not a bodybuilder like that way. You're a strong man in that way. You can pull some major weight. Both you and Lewis, but obviously it's just you. I remember challenging you to that Strive machine and
It's
the
press.
shoulder press.
But I was good.
Oh,
I was good. I thought that's the heaviest stack ever.
That's the heaviest machine. That nearly tore our backs apart again.
But
on
I'm
the
pretty
stage.
sure we offered about 5-6 members. If you get this,
We did.
free membership for a year.
And I remember saying to you
That's
after
how
you did it,
confident we were.
I called him straight away and I was like, "Yo, you know, we're gonna need to gym pin that for them."
Yeah.
Like that's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a heavy stack. So you back yourself up there as well. And like I was saying, not that many people go that step further and have the plan.
Yeah.
So you speaking on stage would be phenomenal for people anyway, because
Yeah.
I think you're a respected person. But by inspiring people and inspiring the younger
Biggest
people,
thing. Biggest
it's the
thing.
biggest thing you can do. So
100%.
you'll have your self accolades of achieving here. Like obviously, like my self accolade is business, being
Yep.
semi-successful in business, let's say. But by helping people, I think we both get the piece of that.
So much more rewarding.
It's so much more rewarding. And now when like we are exposed socially, and we're doing more of that, and like my aim is to speak on stage and start doing stuff like that. It's so good. So even knowing that there's people here that'll do it, that can actually be our kind of thing now. So we can scrap the bowling. Let's just start that. No, scrap the
Just
bowling.
about getting good.
After we beat them, we're not gonna
Oh,
want,
okay.
they're not going to want to do it again.
There's a thing where you can win 50 grand. We'll win that,
Yeah.
and then we'll go.
So
Yeah.
see,
Look, it's serious, isn't it?
He's an amateur.
there's
Yeah.
there's a tournament, and then if you
You
win
two are
it,
serious about this.
We've looked
Oh.
into it once or twice.
You've
He
genuinely
YouTube.
looked
He
into
Mate,
YouTube techniques.
I've got
yesterday.
techers like my follow through.
We keep
on my
going
own
off on
app.
this
50K?
bowling.
Yeah.
50K. So we'll win that, and then we'll put it
Where's
away.
that held?
No, it's the BTB National Bodybuilding Bowling Association.
Right.
We've emailed them everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've got names. We got bowling names.
Okay.
Ask Brian what his name is.
No, you
Ryan, what's your name?
don't. You don't want to know.
I can't
Which
remember.
one?
Yeah, right. Go back.
I was about 4 different ones.
His were all terrible.
Yeah.
Because he mops up the floor lovely.
Yeah.
So we called him the caretaker.
But then they're all like, and then
Yeah.
I was the cleaner.
Then
I was well down the. Yeah, it's bad. But yeah.
Yeah. Then
Sweeper?
one of us. I said, nah, sweeper's
I don't know,
not good. We do need to come up, but then we called him Bullet because he's like the bullet train.
Right.
And honestly, mate.
The bullet's cool.
Bullets alright.
Yeah,
Bullet-
I mean,
bullet
I'd be
cool.
happy with
And
the
that's a
bullet.
man.
Dangerous.
Could be a lot worse, couldn't it?
And that's a
Yeah.
man's bowling name. That's a manly
What
bowling
about yours,
name.
Amar?
Mine was...
Laser.
No, that's what you
Laser.
call me. I always say the one, but that's not really my name.
No, you can't.
Yeah. What? No, the sniper.
Sniper.
The
Laser.
I was
yeah.
a sniper. One of us is called the cannon.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Sam.
Sam.
And-
He took that off me as well. I
Yeah,
was
I
called
know.
the cannon.
And you are the cannon. to
I
be
literally,
fair.
I was going to get a ball with a cannon on
I'd
it.
rather be the bullet.
The bullet.
Yeah.
And then we've
Bullet's
got
more
someone.
precise.
It's got to
More
suit your
accurate.
style though.
And-
Like I was the
Okay,
caretaker
fair
and I went downhill dramatically. It went to my head.
He made us change the name straight away.
Went downhill.
And do you know Izzy?
Yeah.
Izzy's the buffer.
Is Izzy going?
Oh mate, he's good.
Our team's very diverse.
Izzy's good.
Brilliant.
Izzy's good. And this is what's funny about it. You would never think, like, to take us like bowling, we look so weird. We look so weird, different shapes, sizes, colours, hairstyles, everything. We look so weird, but we're actually good.
That's what it's about, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much fun.
That's good. Yeah, exactly.
We
There
are
you
gonna
go.
smoke you like.
Now they are the. Now they are the opportunities where you go and shoot the shit and just have fun.
100%.
It's just jokes.
Yeah.
It's just jokes. But it doesn't become fun when you're bowling 7 games in a day and you can't feel your fingers.
hands
And when you
really-
pass 40,
Yeah.
it's very taxing.
That's the big thing. Or
Oops.
they're gonna have age on us.
Yeah. But flexibility, oh yeah, they stretch and shit as well.
They
Trying
do,
to
yeah.
think now.
Yeah,
Who's
we're
the
like
other
wardrobes.
two that we can have on the team?
Doesn't matter, to be fair.
It doesn't
Yeah,
really
it
matter.
does.
No, it
You can
doesn't.
get
You can
ringers-
Kingpin. Don't make no difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to message the group chat now. Anybody
Anyone
got
any good at
experience?
bowling?
Oh no, what was the other okay, so questions that we put on from Insta. So how important is gym environment to your training? Person who sent this question is actually I was actually surprised that they put this.
It's massive. Environment's everything, isn't it? Environment's how something grows.
Yeah.
You know, you put a plant in the right environment, it's going to grow into a bush. You know, you plant a seed and it's going to grow into a tree. I think it's the same when it comes to bodybuilding. It's the same when it comes to your personality. You put things in the right environment, you build the right environment around you, and you're going to grow. You're going to succeed.
Because you've been obviously a personal trainer at Pure Gym, you said? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started from the ground.
Yeah.
Worked my way up.
What difference would you say is between a commercial gym like, you know, your Pure Gym, Foundries, JD, stuff like that, to like your proper gyms like, your hardcore, like your Elevates, like Apollo, Ultras, stuff like
So
that?
I think the main difference for me, I think in particular with this gym, and I'm not just saying this, it's the community.
Yeah.
It's as much as we've just touched on that, you know, I can't be always laughing and joking because there's a serious side for me for bodybuilding. That's the heartbeat of a gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
The laughing, the joking.
Would you not say every gym has a community?
I wouldn't say every gym has a community.
Yeah.
No, I mean Pure Gym definitely doesn't have a community because it's got 8,000 members.
Yeah.
You know, JD doesn't have a community because it's got 5,000 members.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think to get people on the same page, especially, you know, somewhere like Coventry,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
it's quite hard to do.
Very.
So I think, you know, I've said this countless times. You know, when I'm in the sort of a bit more of a relaxed mind, coming in here and having a laugh for 20 minutes before a session,
Yeah.
and having a chat for 10 minutes after is fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, not every gym has a community.
No, fair.
Every gym has a vibe.
Every
Yeah.
gym has a vibe.
Whether it's
But
good or bad, there's always
I'm
an
very,
atmosphere.
Very lucky with the 2 gyms that I go to. I spend a little bit of time in Kingdom Gym in Atherstone. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up.
Kingdom Gym.
Kingdom Gym.
I've never heard of that.
He's got
heard
3.
of that.
So the owner is Carl. He's a friend. He's got 1 in Atherstone, 1 in Sheldon, and 1 in
Oh,
Birmingham.
sorry. Yes, I have. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a fantastic
Panatta.
community.
He's got more
yeah,
Panattas.
A lot,
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
Panatta.
Yeah.
And here's the same.
Yeah. Is he 24-hour?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Yes.
I know the gym. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good gym. To be fair, it looks
It
good.
is a good gym.
Yeah.
It is a good gym. But touching on the community, you know, it's really important.
Yeah.
It's really
Good.
important.
Good.
As much as sometimes I have to bypass it.
Yeah.
You know, at times when I'm 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out, 4
Yeah.
weeks out eating.
Yeah, of course.
You know, rocket every day.
You're going to be interested to see over the next few weeks. It'll be. I've never seen you go through it. I've seen others go through it. I've never seen you go through it. But you seem to me very robotic, and I think, to be fair,
You have to be.
you'll just tick it off. I don't think you'll struggle.
What I
think
would
you'll
say
pick it
is,
up.
the more I've done it, the more my ability to tolerate it has become higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, lovely.
6 weeks out, 5 or 6 years ago,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to sit in a podcast studio
Yeah.
and me have the personality or the energy
Yeah.
to be able to do this.
Yeah, lovely.
So you build a resilience to it, to the
Course.
point now where people are like, fucking hell, you're 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
Damn right I am.
Yeah, but you look like it's absolutely normal.
Yeah, and that's the biggest compliment you can actually give a bodybuilder on prep.
Yeah.
Is, you know,
Not-
you're
not
not
ask them how you feel.
face like a slapped arse.
Yeah.
You know, you're not pale. You're not exhausted. You know, you're not snappy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
biggest ick. What's your biggest
Oh.
ick? Most annoying ick?
Shit. Oh, that's caught me off guard. Biggest ick.
In the gym environment
Yeah.
or in bodybuilding.
Gym environment. Well, do both, gym environment and bodybuilding.
Oh man, I can't think of anything.
Don't say someone eating a chocolate brownie in front of you.
Ah.
Because I can smell it.
He's too strong for that.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Biggest
knows
ick
as long as he's a
in the
bowler.
gym. Oh man, you're gonna have to come back to me. I
We'll
want
come
to.
back.
There are some, but I just
bet.
can't think.
don't say tripods.
Could you imagine?
Oh, no, I was saying that one will backfire on you. Very
Training partners.
Yeah, yeah.
The biggest ick.
Do you have a lot of people come up to you mid-set?
I think something that really winds me up is people that have bad hygiene in the gym. I'm not
Oh.
sure whether it's so much an
So
ick.
difficult.
That's hard.
It's so difficult.
you know, I
we
think-
have it a lot.
It's a hard conversation as well.
Oh, it's a horrible conversation.
We've had to have it quite a few times.
But you have to look after your members that don't smell.
Yeah, that's the
You
that's
know
the balance though. It's
You know the
difficult.
hard thing is with this? We obviously have to go through this quite a bit. How do you go up to someone and say, unfortunately, there's a bad odour coming and it's coming from you?
You say it like that.
Yeah. Okay. So then their response is going to be, okay, cool, we'll use deodorant. Absolutely fine. And the next day they've sprayed deodorant, and then you got to go back to them and say, I'm sorry, there's a bad odour again.
Yeah,
And it's still coming from
it's
you.
when you have to say it more than once.
Oh, that's
when
a
you're
ha-
into 3 and 4s,
That's a hard convo, bro.
it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working.
If someone would say that to me, I think I'd bounce from the gym.
I'd be mortified,
I've gone from the gym.
mortified.
Absolute fact.
But they don't seem to care.
Now, especially nowadays, because there's like a...
It's clothes though, isn't it? 9 times out of 10.
Normally, yeah.
Not washing the clothes.
Yeah.
I think the person.
Because
that you
before
see-
they've even, as they're walking in, it's
No.
there. It's like you haven't done anything. How have you smell
But
like that?
now there's so much when people are training, they're taking their shoes off, and
Oh,
they're
it's a
like
lot of
taking
that.
it. And we're good. We're like, do you know what? Just if you want to take your shoes off, take your shoes off. If you want to
Yeah.
take your socks off, take your socks off. Are you comfy? Cool. Go do you.
Yeah.
But when your feet are just like got that coming off them,
I swear Lewis started that phase. I blame Lewis. He was one of the first that I seen barefoot, like Hobbit.
Actual
Lewis
barefoot.
barefoot.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely,
Lewis-
bro. He's
Oh,
got
he
seagull
was.
feet as well. His feet. I swear to God, that's why I noticed them. I swear he started that craze. I blame Lewis.
maybe.
He's absolutely flipper foot.
We'll put this in the thing because we're gonna get Lewis on soon. That'll
Yeah,
be
so,
the thing. Why do you
oh, we
say
get his
that?
feet out. I'd be so biased. He's got his dad's feet, exactly the same.
Oh, brilliant.
Exactly the same.
Okay,
So smelly people.
yeah, that's a hard combo.
I mean,
though.
it's
It's
not
difficult.
an ick for me.
Yeah.
And that'd be a bit unfair to say. It's not
Yeah.
an ick, but it's something that I don't understand.
Yeah,
Mm.
no,
For
yeah,
sure.
I don't think anyone understands it. But that's as gym owners, that's a very
We
hard
have
conversation.
showers. We have. Oh, get on this! I want seen this. One of our very smelly members was smelly. Went for a shower, then put his smelly clothes back on. Same clothes. Walked out smellier than he did when he had the shower.
It's got a bit of damp from the body.
Didn't understand
Oh,
it.
right.
Didn't understand it. I was so shocked. Same
There's,
gear.
There's something wrong with you.
There's lots wrong with
There's
me.
so-
You are
Oh,
my
God.
only problem.
I remember that actually.
See, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't get the bare feet. I don't get bare feet.
No.
No, I don't like. And just put your shoes on or do it with your socks.
Yeah.
Why do people actually do that? Just to feel the connection of the.
To be more grounded,
That's
no?
Lewis next week.
Fucking
Oh, do you not understand it? As in, you understand it, but do you not believe in it?
Are you a bare? Basically, are you a barefooter?
I haven't seen you barefoot.
No.
I'm not
No,
barefoot.
my knees are in a tragic state.
Are they?
So barefoot's no good for
Makes
me.
it worse.
Yeah. So I have
If
to
your
wear a
knees
good,
were good,
a
would you
good pair.
barefoot?
I have to wear a good pair of Skechers or Asics.
With a heel.
That's how you know a man is struggling when he talks about
Wedges.
sketches.
Yeah.
Hang on, what's in your trainer?
No, my trains are good.
All good.
From bowling, my heels were.
So that's
Yeah,
where little
wicked.
wedges. That's why he's tall.
Absolutely fine. Well, I'm tall.
That's why he's tall.
Wow. That's like
inches.
6'3.5".
There you go, with the wedge.
Okay, favorite staff member. We've already told you this, and you've come out with something. But I'll give you a little bit of advice.
Speak from the heart.
Yeah,
just be
actually, no,
honest.
just go with whoever your favorite staff member is. Obviously, from
I think it's worth saying
yeah.
I like everybody.
Okay, that's not going to get you out of giving the wrong answer. Yeah.
I mean, there is no wrong answer, is there? It's my answer.
I'm actually nervous for you here. This is going to backfire on him so bad. And
Could
the
do.
thing is, you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite staff member.
I'm going to give two answers.
Oh no! That might not
I'm
even
gonna
get him
give-
out
I'm
of
gonna
it.
give the
This is a
strategic
good roll.
answer
No.
Okay, just
of,
go with
of Patty.
Patty.
Yeah.
Oh, we tried
Yeah,
something.
I told you this. That's why I said to you, that even two answers won't get in.
Okay, no. So Patricia.
No,
and
I'm not giving a favourite member.
You've just
That's
done one.
bullshit.
You said Patty. What was the next
Because
one?
I was joking, because I think that's who's wrote it in.
It definitely ain't.
It wasn't, no.
We've got five. We've got Callum.
Oh, no, don't go through them in case you forget one of them.
Yeah. Oh, we make this mistake.
This is a
lot.
mistake. Don't reach out.
So, a personal trainer's included within staff members.
Everyone within
Fucking hell.
everyone within the Apollo thing. So who's your favourite Apollo
No, I'm
staff
not
member?
doing that.
Oh,
No, I'm not doing
we'll
that.
put you on the spot
You can
already
put me
and
on
say,
the bench on
and
the
off
fence.
air, you've already said Callum.
Yeah, you did. Definitely did.
I would say outside interests, me and Callum definitely align the most.
So Callum's your favourite staff member.
Callum's a really nice lad.
Callum is a good lad.
Callum is a really nice lad, and
He's
somebody that I would spend time with outside of the gym.
Callum's a good, and same.
So
Yeah, to be fair, all the staff members that we got, the team, let's say,
Yeah.
they're all wicked.
Solid.
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They
everyone
are.
from
Solid.
Atlantis, which has just come in, to Callum, which has been
Yes,
here the longest.
she's starting to come out of a shell.
So
which is
good.
Amazingly
amazing.
well,
to-
mate,
I'd
honestly.
say that's
So good, so
good
good.
to see. Again, it's
Yeah.
We go back to the topic of planting the seed in the right environment, and it
But
comes
Callum
up.
was the same. When
Yes.
Callum first
I know
came
he
here,
was.
it was a mute.
Callum came and
We've said
trained
this.
with
Maybe
Every
me. and
podcast.
podcast we said this.
But every podcast. We big him up way too
I
much.
know, yeah.
Callum came and trained with me and Lewis when Lewis and him were working together. He didn't say a word.
Yeah.
You
know,
weren't.
yesterday, we went and watched a Marvel film
Yeah, he
together,
said
like
that. Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
But that's, when we found that's wicked for us to see as well.
Oh yeah.
That's
Not-
outside the gym as
Yeah,
well.
that really emphasizes everything about the gym, because you haven't been here massively long. I know you've known Callum before, but you've probably been here for 7-8 months.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've like pondered before, but you've consistently been here 7-8 months.
Yeah.
That's so good for us to see, because the team is one thing, but the gym as an environment is what we truthfully pride ourselves on.
It's more than just being here, isn't it?
Oh,
Way
we
more.
love knowing that the members and the
Staff.
the yeah
Get on.
all get on.
Yeah, so important.
All get on. So if you guys can meet outside of the gym, it's kind of when you're coming in, you're just chilling with your mates. So people always say to us, like, we're good gym owners, and we're like, well, we don't class it as that. I'm coming in, and when I'm saying hello to people, and Ryan is, we just say hello to our mates.
Yeah,
like, we
100.
see you guys more than we do people we're growing up with.
Of course, yeah.
So you become mates. Like, there'll be a day where we'll go out, or
Of course there will.
yeah, or like we go genuine taking the piss. We'll do the bowling thing, and
Yeah.
we will have a blast.
Of course there will.
Because we all actually get along.
And you
doubt.
want to be around them people.
I imagine we'll go out for some food once I finish dieting or something like
course.
that. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a great place for that.
Well, that's
Yeah, we have,
that's
yeah.
it. And
Really
then
And
good.
they do good desserts.
They really do, yeah.
Good cheesesteaks.
That's as I said to you at the start. It's important for me to see, for other people to see that there are other layers to me.
Yeah.
No, of
Right.
course. That's the whole reason of this.
Of course.
What do you think we can do to get better as a gym?
As a gym.
Yeah.
What sort of tangible?
Anything.
Could be anything, yeah.
We can't. The only thing we can't do here is the car park.
Yeah.
But that.
Do you know? I hadn't even. I wasn't even going to say that.
Yeah, but that to us.
That's normally everyone's go-to, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
I mean-
to us that's actually a positive, because if you can fill that many spaces
Sure.
and the rest of them on your estate,
Absolutely.
that shows how many people want to
So
come
look,
in.
in an ideal scenario, you guys would have probably 20 more car parking spaces.
minimum.
50.
That's 50.
Yeah,
That's,
minimum.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm right in saying the focus has very much been on, you know, the machine side of things,
Yeah.
bringing the machines not up to
Investment.
standard, actually up to a, you know, top tier
Yeah.
1 gym, where people up north and down south go, have you been to Apollo?
Yeah.
And
Simple.
you've ticked that box.
Yeah.
I think maybe the facilities could probably do with being updated a little
Yeah.
bit. Changing rooms,
Yeah.
shower,
That's next
Yeah.
level.
could
That's
maybe a
next
little
thing.
bit more appealing to, you know, I mean, I'd go and have a shower in there,
Yeah.
but I'm as
Yeah,
spit
how-
and sawdust as it
Like
comes.
a health club. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a health club standard.
Yeah.
Because that's going to pull in more people. I think some of the attachments,
Extra attachments.
extra attachments, maybe
Like what?
new attachments.
Okay, like newer or more.
Yeah, maybe newer attachments, newer
Okay.
D handles, that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
You know, but I'm literally just pulling.
Yeah.
I'm
But
scraping the barrel here.
that's what we want to know though.
Because they're little things. They're not
Yeah.
big investments. That's easy.
I think some of the pin selected equipment is difficult to use when you're a bigger lad.
Yeah, 'cause
when
you're-
you're a stronger lad.
Because you're strong as fuck.
You know, in an ideal scenario, I think I said this to you, Amar.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can use a plate loaded equipment
Yeah.
because you don't you know somebody that's just starting in the gym, you know, they don't have to load any weight onto it, so they
Yeah.
can use plate loaded.
Yeah.
I can use plate loaded with 5 plates on either side.
Yeah.
So a plate loaded equipment can be used by everyone. Pin selected, well, I can't use some of the pin selected equipment in there because what happens is when you load a gym pin in there,
It changes the profile.
It fucks the machine up,
Yeah.
which is not my machine, and it changes the profile. So that's something to bear in mind, I think.
Yeah, I think even if we was to get, and this is what I said to you, I think even if we was to get all plate loaded, you're still too strong. There's only a few people I would say that with here. Yourself,
I'm really not.
Oh, bro, you're strong.
Lewis is stronger than me.
Nah, bro, you're a strong guy.
I'm a strong guy.
God,
yeah,
you're a
but,
very strong guy.
But there are
You're a very strong guy. Yourself.
at the moment I'm not.
No, yeah. But yourself, Ivo, and Lewis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're not gonna not complete
Yeah, I mean-
a machine. You're gonna complete every machine.
There's a good chance.
Yeah, nah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
good
Like,
chance.
you're not gonna not put 10 plates on a leg press. You're not gonna.
No.
Yeah, you're not gonna
No.
not gym pin a machine. Like, you know, you're gonna do it. So I think that something there is like the Nautilus explode stuff we were looking at, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of time before you stack that. So it's hard to get, but it is just a matter of time before you complete that fucker as well. So that's where, like, us as gym owners, that's where it's real hard.
Sure.
Because one, not everybody wants that, and
Sure.
two, then you become you take yourself out of the mass market where there's gonna be like, you know, someone just wants to do like that and do like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Well, there's 850 of the fuckers.
Yeah, but then you guys at the top end of it,
Yeah,
where
that's
it's
the
like, you know,
difference.
you want that madness, you want to go to that fucking, okay, we're gonna put an additional 5 plates onto that stack, but we're gonna fuck up your machine. We're very much like, okay, cool, go fuck up the machine, we'll fix it. But you're right, it just changed the profile a lot. That's where with us, I think the biggest thing that we want is space.
Space is a killer. Because you inherit the building.
Yeah.
Like, look at, we make the most out of
I've-
every room that we've got. Look at this room.
Yeah.
I've never looked at this gym or walked through this gym and thought it lacks space.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest.
Because we're very careful how we put stuff in.
Yeah.
It's inches. Like,
We-
literally, with the equipment,
we
it's
tinker with
the
inches
most
now.
impossible jigsaw ever, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It is. It's,
But we-
it's a jigsaw. Yeah.
But that's why it's good having people like you here, because from a gym owner point of view, we're like, okay, we want to concentrate on your guy like, you know, whoever who can't lift what you can lift, who's just coming to the gym, but we also want to cater for, you know, the top 1%ers,
It's got to be functional for everyone.
yeah, which are literally want to go for
I get that.
for world status. You know, you want to get that O. You know, you don't want to just be an IPP pro. You want to get the O. Like that's a hard balance to have.
And if we had more space,
We'd get it
you'd
in a
have whatever
minute.
you'd want.
We'd get it in a minute.
You'd have whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's the fact that, as I say, you're trying to cater for
You're trying to
the
accommodate
masses.
for everyone.
So yeah, it's very very hard.
We're still buying the best stuff, as you know, but it's,
Yes.
you know, if we had more space, you'd have what you want, but
Yeah, fact.
literally
I still
whatever you want.
think there are some things that we could potentially swap out, for sure.
But that's the reason we bought
But we're
a
not-
unit. to
I mean,
rotate
we're,
stuff.
we're not looking at many now. We're looking at like the odd machine,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yo,
'Cause we're
you
at
just
that- we're
let
at
you
that
just let
level.
us know. Don't let us know online because we got spies watching. But you just let us know, and we will swap that shit out. What difference? Sorry, what impacting mental health has on training, or training has on mental health? Sorry.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah, I think aside from training, what I said to you about living the lifestyle, you know, I think it's one of the reasons why people struggle post-show so much. Don't know if you guys, you know, have heard of the post-show lows of everything that you do, everything that I do at the moment is geared towards one day or 2 days in my case.
Yep.
When that's taken away, you've got nothing. You've got nothing to focus on. It's like an Olympian. It's like Johnny Wilkinson after he kicked that drop goal and won the World Cup.
Yeah.
He lay in his bedroom looking up at the ceiling, depressed.
Oh, is it?
He'd reached the summit. It's why Tyson Fury went into a pit of depression.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're working towards one day, right? It's just a couple of examples. The lifestyle itself gives you something to focus on. You know, when you're in prep, in particular, nothing matters. Nothing can break through that. It's like a horse wearing blinkers. I can't see the silly shit that's going on to the right or the silly shit that's going on to the left.
So no distractions.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter to me because that's the goal, and that is a perfect headspace to be in.
Yeah.
If I can stay in that headspace for 12 months, you're going to make amples of progression. Training alone, yes, like you guys say, you come in, you get that kick from it. For me, it's more the lifestyle. It's more looking forward. Next goal, next goal, next goal, next goal. That's what helps my mental health.
Okay.
As well as the therapist that I went to in obviously 2019.
Yeah.
I spent 18 months working twice a week with a therapist. 2019 was rock bottom for me. That was the lowest point in my life, where life was either going to go that way to the point where we wouldn't be here having this conversation, or it was going to go in the direction that it did go.
What is that?
Things that had gone on in my life, I suffered massively. I suffered from a massive trauma when I was younger.
Okay.
A massive trauma.
Yeah.
As a child,
Okay.
which affected me in my late 20s.
Okay.
Trauma as children doesn't necessarily manifest itself straight away.
Of course it doesn't.
In its, you know, in teenage years. Mine manifested in my late 20s.
Yeah.
And it was too much for me to carry, it was too much for me to handle. What had happened, etc., etc. I hit rock bottom. I was acting out, I was bad habits, as we spoke about a little bit.
Yeah.
I was doing all the wrong things. I was pushing people away. I was ruining relationships, friendships. So it was, you know, you got one way to go or the other, mate.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll always remember the day. Sorry, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent here.
No,
I will always remember the day that I decided that space that I was in was no longer going to have control of me. It was a Friday. I can't remember the date, but it was a Friday. And I took 3 simple steps. First step was I went and told my parents.
Yeah.
Sat them down, broke their heart. Called the doctors. I booked an appointment.
Yeah.
And I called a therapist.
Fair.
And they were the 3 steps that I took all in the one day on the Friday, and I never looked back.
What
Yeah, so-
drove you then from going in that mad spiral to saying, nah, today's the day?
Affecting other people. I
Okay.
can deal with my own shit as a man.
Yeah.
I can deal with my own burdens, things that I've done wrong, mistakes that I've made. I can carry them.
Yeah.
But when that starts affecting you and the people around me that love me,
Yeah.
nah,
Just drew a line under there and then.
drew a line.
That's very good.
Drew a line.
sir.
I still make mistakes now. I'm still really imperfect.
Human.
But, exactly. But I'm a hell of a lot better than I was in
Yeah,
terms
fair.
of my mental health. I haven't been depressed since.
Yeah.
Depression was horrendous.
Yeah.
I couldn't look a person in the eye.
Takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah, loads.
Takes a lot of courage to go seek help.
It was game over.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It might have been a bit of courage. It was desperation as well. It was.
No, no, it's
I'm
a
not
lot
going to
of
be
courage.
here anymore.
It's a lot of courage
It
to
was.
do that.
It was like. I don't want to say it. It's not. It's not blood. It's not. It was life or death.
Yeah.
That's where I was.
Yeah. No, fair. I never
You
knew
know,
that.
and, well,
No,
no,
again, no one would.
Yeah, because
Only a tight circle.
everyone cries in silence.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
that's so much. That's so much.
Everyone cries. So don't know if you've seen it or not, but we had Sam on a few weeks back,
yeah,
and Sam was talking about being bullied
Mm.
and how he used being bullied as essentially a trigger to bring himself into the gym to get himself bigger, to essentially fight back
a
the bullies.
motivation.
And that's
motivation.
it, and it keeps him disciplined in the mind.
Another person that's come out of his shell massively.
Oh,
Mm.
bro,
When I saw Sam, he was on crutches,
Wicked, bro.
very quiet, very, you know,
we've spoken to him in the gym.
demeanour
in-
was very small.
Yeah, but after that podcast, I can't believe how much I love that guy.
Yeah, I like Sam.
From one thing, the chin up thing.
Oh,
That's such a Rocky moment.
that was different.
Have you ever seen Rocky?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Definitely know the story of it.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Not everyone has.
Right.
So
okay.
me and him live off Rocky.
Love it.
So it's just, I think it's just defined a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that haven't seen it, like Rocky's 1 through 5, is unreal. But Sam put a chin-up bar in between his door. Every time we walk through the bar, do 3 chin-ups. Every time we walk through the door, do 3 chin-ups.
Yeah, to his bedroom.
Yeah,
so he
that's
couldn't even
it.
go to sleep without.
So he's doing, like, at the age of, like, say 14, 15, he's doing 96 chin-ups a day.
It's such a good idea, man. It's genius.
I think it's absolute genius, that is.
one of the
like,
best things I heard for ages.
That is what, honestly.
And it was his mum that pushed him
his
into
mum
that.
his mum made him do it. So
So
essentially,
even if he's going brushing his teeth, he's doing 6 chin-ups before he can get back to his bedroom.
which is genius, and honestly, that's why he's such a fucking fridge
Yeah.
of a guy. He's wide as a fucking door.
He's a good human.
But like, even like yourself, from a mental health point of view, everyone's got something.
Of course.
But again, like the fact that you essentially use the gym as your escape, right? So you just essentially take out all your trauma on them weights, which again is why you're so intense in your session, because you know you're going for the goal, but somewhere subconsciously the demon will be there, and you're just keeping that fucker locked up, which is great,
But that's why you'll be good when you speak.
phenomenal.
And that's why you'll be good being a coach and you can help people because you've had these life experiences.
Life experience is massive.
You've been rock bottom. Look
Yeah.
where you are now.
Yep.
That will be massive for people.
Life experience is massive.
We're gonna do this. Honestly, we're gonna do that.
Yeah,
We're
for
gonna do
sure.
that speaking thing.
You know you'll be speaking by the weekend with this clown.
Oh,
100%.
No, because the more people that we speak to from doing it, it's funny because we all have different stories. So we all have like trauma, but I think we're all kind of now seeing in a different light, because like I'm seeing from a business point of view. This cowboy here is seen as like an absolute
Cowboy.
cannon. He's seen as an absolute cannon, but thing is, everyone loves him.
Yeah.
So Ryan can literally say to someone, just come and do this, and even if he's set you up 1,000 times, you're still gonna trust him. Like, and he's done it to me 1,000,000 times. Whereas, like, I actually have to sniff the hot chocolate before he gives it.
Did you do that?
Oh, every time.
Did you get clean this time?
I think so, but that's why I put that bag there, because it tasted a bit funky, so I didn't know what you did to
see
it.
what I mean?
I didn't know. So I had there's one of them which
I'm
tastes
mature
weird.
now, growing up.
Nah, I don't know.
I have.
But it's good though, because like I say, you're like a peer figure in your community, and the amount of people that do look up to you, I think it's a bit of a crime if you're not passing that story.
100%. If you're not helping.
So that can be the next Apollo thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you know, maybe we all come in once a month or once every couple of months and help the young, because that's what it's about, is helping the younger kids.
Yeah.
There's so much shit that they're exposed to now.
More than what we were.
Yeah,
Bad.
God, yeah.
The internet is an absolute nightmare.
It is.
Of course it is.
So that should be where we take it.
Why
There
not?
you go. We wanted this podcast to do something. That's what it's going to
100%.
be. We can teach them about business. We can teach them about life. Teach them about mental health. Teach them about overcoming it. And every one of us has got a different story behind it.
Everyone's got a story.
So we'll basically just relate.
More
to
than
all of
happy
them.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I really would.
And then we could talk about Lewis, and we'll just pick on Lewis.
Sick. Let's do it.
What else we got here? School life, mental health, bodybuilding coaching, motivation, expectations, anything else you want to touch on?
I think we've covered everything.
We're done.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think we've
Connor?
covered
Genius.
everything.
Absolute. Love you. Best of luck, my bro.
Really good. Thank you, lads.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me. Yeah.
Oh, don't be daft.
Really appreciate the opportunity to come on board.
Nah,
Yeah,
you
bro.
killed it, bro. As usual.